Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy Poling, loan originator here at NFM Lending, and today I have the pleasure of welcoming back into our studios Mr. Darren Ahearn with REMAX Results. Darren, happy to see you back, buddy. You haven't been in for a while.
Thanks. Good to have you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good having me back. I appreciate it.
Exactly, summer of 2025, and it has been full of sidewinders and some surprises, right? So,
yeah.
Tell me, what have you been up to? What are you seeing out
Definitely crazy. So I am Darren Ahearn with REMAX Results. As Jeremy said, we've been friends and partners for many, many years here. Thanks for having me back. So yeah, I mean, when you start to think about 2025, the first thing that comes to my mind is I can't believe we are almost halfway through the year. Number one.
Oh yeah, right.
We are like going full force. So there's a lot of mixed feelings and ideas, I think, all the media and everywhere out there about what the year's been like. But as being a professional real estate agent full-time and doing this nearly 22 years and almost 700 homes now, I definitely on the pulse of this every day and being on the radio every week on your Frederick Real Estate Update. I think the best way to summarize it is this year so far is just so unpredictable, but yet it is predictable.
Right. That's a very good way to describe it. You know, I've noticed that in conversations we're having from the lender side with our clients, it's very busy, right? A lot of busy work, right? And a lot of homes that are moving quickly seem to have been marketed very well. So that's a testament to the agents that are out there working and marketing those homes. But I have seen a lot of the shift for first-time home buyers, a lot of first-time home buyers coming back into the market. I mean, are you seeing that same thing on your side?
Yeah, I know that we definitely are seeing that. The biggest thing right now has been the rates, interest rates. When everybody's been holding their breath thinking, like, when are the interest rates going to come down? Everybody's been promising and telling us there's going to be rate cuts and all this other stuff. And it's the hurry up, wait and see. And then that hasn't happened.
Right.
I think what's happened is now that we've been in this cycle of the rates coming, being low, going almost over 8 for a minute, and now back under 7. It seems like we've been here for a long time, even though it hasn't really been. So what's happened is buyers, I'm finding first-time home buyers are starting to understand, as we have the knowledge and the input, they're getting used to the idea that, okay, rates really are never coming back to 3 right now.
Right.
They're probably not even coming back to 5. If we get 6.5, we're doing really good, or 6%. And that's, I think, what's happened is we're seeing everybody start to realize, hey, prices aren't going to crash.
Right.
We may see a little correction here and there, and rates aren't going to come down, and they're not going to go crazy up. So we've got a little bit more stability, and it's a little bit more favorable right now for first-time home buyers and buyers as a whole coming into the market to purchase right now.
I agree with that, and that was going to be one of the next questions I had, but you touched on it, right? The correction, and I feel like there has already been some sort of a correction, that slipped in maybe late winter, early spring, right, and kind of caught some folks by surprise. Myself, and I do business, across the nation, licensed in some other states, so I've noticed. Geographically in different markets, you may feel that a little bit more than we do, say, here in the DMV, where we're a little bit more insulated with government installations and things like that. So I'm glad you touched on that, because I can see that there might have been, that slight correction that's already happened in some of these other markets.
Absolutely. So from personal experience, it's like I said, it's so unpredictable but predictable, because we've seen inventory in Frederick County for the first time in over 4 or 5 years to go above 500. And of course, even at that pace of seeing year over year, 20-25% of inventory increasing, we still have enough buyer demand that's keeping it from everybody saying, well, why is there not a crash if the inventory keeps going up literally right now almost every week? And that's only because buyer demand is still relevant to the market as far as how much inventory. So if that gets away from each other to any larger margin of degree, well, that's when we're going to start to see problems more so with values. But as you spoke, in the last, say, year almost, we have only seen values increase very, very slightly. And there's some areas, like you said, we're now just starting to see in the last 2 to 3 weeks prices to come down just a tiny bit. And so my last 5 settlements that I've had in the last month, 3 of the properties were above asking price. Everything seems to be great.
Right.
Like you're like, wait a minute, the news media, all the talking heads, nothing's
Right.
making sense. This isn't as bad as some are saying. And then you hear Zillow downgrading their things and Real.com downgrading their year over year where the values will be, which is going to be below, and it'll be 1% negative or more maybe. And then all of a sudden I get a great listing in Frederick, and I've now just experienced for the first time in 5 years, which is astounding to me, a home that we missed the price by just like $10, it feels like.
Yeah.
And so I've been educating sellers saying, hey, look, if we miss the price by $10, you're in huge trouble. And now for the first time in 5 years, we've had to make a price correction to get more in aligned with the market.
Right.
And now we're starting to get more showings. And I said, you got to be close. You got to be close.
Yeah.
But you just don't know because the market is getting more squirrely, it feels like, by the moment.
And like you said, when you started, our conversation, right? It's unpredictable but predictable, right? Just to note, I know that we kind of dated this video, but Case Shiller has us at about a 3% year-over-year appreciation. So you're right, predictable but very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for stopping in today. I
Thanks.
appreciate you always coming by and giving us the heads up. Contact information for Darren and myself are below. Hope you'll check in with us again. Thank you.
Thanks.